The corner, the corner, the corner.
Hey, welcome. Come on into Cousin Ed's Corner. This podcast is where you'll find real, authentic conversation, organic conversation, unscripted, unfiltered conversation, like you're home with your cousin. It's all about life. It's about finance. It's about spirituality. It's about love and everything in between. I'm your host, Cousin Ed. I'm excited to bring you along on this journey. So sit back and listen in as we dive into a wide range of topics. I have some diverse guests coming on with an array of thoughts and opinions. My goal is to create a space all for us to connect and communicate. It's not really about me. It's about the community as a whole. Let's enjoy it. Let's sit back. Let's think about our past. Let's move into our future. It's about
The corner, the corner, the corner. So no matter how you cut it or slice it, we're all here together. I'm just here to give you a piece of my heart, my mind, my soul, and my mentals. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Cousin Ed's Corner. The corner, the corner, the corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Cousin Ed. Yes, indeed. Cousin Ed's Corner back at you again. How about to say, no matter how you cut it, slice it, we all in this together. I'm just here to give you a piece of my heart, my mind, my soul, and my mentals. I'm going to say it this episode because it is Motivational Monday here at Cousin Ed's Corner. And before I get into what the show is about, I want to tell everybody happy Monday. Yeah. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. They safe from any hurt, harm, and danger, friends, family, and loved ones. Hopefully this week is starting off well. I'm doing this show later in the day on Monday, but hopefully this week is starting off well. I am excited. If you can't hear, I am excited for all of us, right? First of all, I've been watching all of the Jay-Z clips from the concert this weekend, 3 concerts. I'm a born and raised New York, kid, individual, young man right now. All that. I'm born and raised New York, right? But I'm from Brooklyn. So seeing what somebody from Brooklyn can do and what they have achieved, no matter you hate them or love them, it's amazing. So, and then it's all the performances behind it. Unfortunately, I didn't go, right? I'm saying I couldn't go, but unfortunately I didn't go. And, but I'm just happy to see all of that. So I'm start there. I'm on a high right now because of that. But as the weekend went on and talking about what he accomplished, I got a notice from our pod platform, right? Our pod platform, which is Podbean. And the notice, guess what it states? It states that we have accomplished, we have finished, we have published over 600 episodes of Cousin Ed's Corner. Now that's officially on Podbean, right? That's on Podbean where we started our journey at. Podbean puts out the show to different platforms. So if you see the show on, let's say, Pandora, it's there because of Podbean. You see it on Amazon, Alexa, wherever, all those places, it's because of Podbean, right? So it push out the feed. But there are some places where you get separate shows like Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, where you get separate things that are not on the podcast itself. So I'm going to say 600 episodes on our main platform, which is Podbean, but it's a lot more content out there with the social media platforms. So I wanted to just give a little history about how this all got started again. Y'all may have heard the story. All got started way back when, right? That's why people do that, right? The rappers do that, right? Because they want to tell you how it got started. You know the song in my head, right? You know what's in my head right now, right? Roxanne Shante, right? Never mind. Let's go back to the point at hand. So I'm gonna tell you the story of how I got started for Cousin Ed and Cousin Ed's Corner. So stay with me for a second. My cousin Mr. Moody came to me and said, hey, I'm doing a TV show called Moody's House. I want you to be a part of it. At the time, it was on cable TV down here, local TV in Georgia. Did the series. I would show up and, just give him support where he needed support at. Hold the light up, whatever he needed me to do. After doing that show, I was never on the show. After doing the show, he wanted to go into podcasting. He started doing some sports podcasting with his partner at the time, but he wanted to do his own show and have his own creative liberties in it. So he wanted to do the previous TV show was Moody's House. So we talked about it, and we talked about doing Mr. Moody's Neighborhood, right? So he got outside the house. This is his neighborhood. This was going on in the neighborhood. We had that concept, and we said, okay, he said, let's form this business together. I was willing to help. He said, let's form this business. Let's do everything 50-50. So he called us the 50-50 brothers. But on the show, he would call me Cousin Ed. Hey, Cousin Ed. Hey, Cousin Ed. Hey, Cousin Ed. And from there, that's where Cousin Ed got birthed. Hey, Cousin Ed. Right? The show was Mr. Moody's Neighborhood featuring Mr. Moody, DJ Naturel, and Cousin Ed. So I always got big up DJ Naturel. I was the main technical person behind the scenes doing most of the stuff technically, but I was on the show as well as a voice on the show, right? I'm going to fast forward because I want to. A lot of y'all heard this before, but we did the show. I say at least 4 to 5 seasons, maybe even longer than that. But fortunately, Moody had open heart surgery. I say unfortunately because it slowed a lot of other things down, but fortunately they found a defect in his heart on his aorta and was able to fix that. So at the time, before even going into the aorta surgery, the distance and me coaching everything, we started doing the show more remote than in person. And while we're doing it remotely, he would call on me and say, hey, send me something for today's show. And I would have a corner of what he started was the Jeff is Moody show, right? So I would have a corner inside of his show called Cousin Ed's Corner. Key, that's key right there. That's how Cousin Ed's Corner got started. Now, I didn't start the show right then. I started giving my voice to his show, and then I started to also do small segments and send to friends and family. So if you were part of my friends, I was sending it on WhatsApp. If you was family, I sent it on WhatsApp. Started with Telegram. I started sending it on Telegram. Any place I can send it back then wasn't Vimo or something like that, where you can post your stuff. I was doing it different places, just putting up small things for friends and family, right? I got a part of another group for trading, Forex, foreign exchange. Big up Global FX Trade Club. Trade Club, we're doing well in the Trade Club, but we wanted to talk more about what normal everyday people are going through. Not just about making money, but what are we going through? And two people who were on the show, on the group with me, who were also leaders in the group, Destrian Wells and AJ Woodson, they would also want to talk about these things. We just have regular conversation. So while doing the regular conversations, all of us, I don't know where it started, but Monday morning motivation, right? Monday motivation, right? Started doing those shows, and then we started doing some nightly shows and some things in there. But at the same time, COVID has happened, right? And things slow down for a while. People are getting sick. All kind of stuff is going on. And after 2021, I decided to, do my own show. September 19th, 2022. I want y'all to go back and hear the difference in the shows. But my first show truly aired, I see it on the website, I'm looking at it right now, was September 13th, 2021. That's what I have up right now. Remembering 9/11, right? And it's a conversation with my mom. I think that's a signature show that I started with. A conversation with my mom, remembering 9/11. The next show I did that's up right now that I posted was a year later, which was September 19th, 2022. How Will You Be Remembered? Was the next show I did. How will you be remembered? And just thoughts in my head about life, right? I had just came through a major surgery back in June of 2022. And I think my thoughts of my immortality or my mortality, right? That I'm not gonna be here forever, started weighing on me, right? Like, okay, we all in that promise. So how will you want to be remembered? Like, what people gonna think of you? So I did that show, and then I believe that was a Monday, right? I know it was a Monday because I'm looking right now. It's a Monday, and I'm sitting here, and hold on, let me back up. I gotta back up, and forgive me for this. While I was doing the telegrams and between Global FX and posting the stuff in another telegram group, I met a young lady. Now, I gotta be honest here. I met a young lady named Terilyn Michelle. She was part of a vegan group I was part of. And she heard one of my shows and told me that I need to do this for real. So I totally forgot that part of it until I saw this right here. But Terilyn said I need to do this for real. And we had a consultation. She does this for other people as well. And she's polished. She's been all over radio. She's written people. Very, very respectful lady. And I took her advice. She told me some things I need to go and get, some things I need to work on. I said, okay. So fast forward, like I said, I did the first show, the Monday show. The second show I did was Wind Down Wednesday. This is September 21st, 2022. September 21st, 2022. And then that Friday, I did TGIF. Now listen here, I did TGIF. Thank God for Friday. This before I started doing Thank God for Everything. I did TGIF. I was thank God for Friday, man. I was, doing a show. And that was on September 23rd, 2022. The next Monday, I turned around and did Motivational Monday. Now, listen, I need y'all to go back and listen to these shows. These shows they can be played anytime. This show right here was from one of my previous segments that I sent out to people. And it's called Put Your Negatives in His Solution. This was from early 2022, but put your negatives in His solution. This show, when you use those words, use your context clues. Put your negatives in His solution. He can work anything out. He can work miracles. I promise you, He can work miracles. So that was the Motivational Monday. The first Motivational Monday ever on Cousin Ed's Corner was that one right there. The next show I did kind of went back to who are we? Like it went back to the how you want to be remembered, but who are we? And it was featuring Uncle Amos. That's my dad. I was just saying that for a lot of people know him that was listening to the show at the time. His nieces and nephews and people call him Uncle Amos, part 1. Now I'm not going to go through and read all these shows. I want to tell you where it came from. Where this show got started. 2022, September 2022. So right now we about to go on 4 years. September 2026 will be 4 years. But the biggest thing about today is we have 600 episodes. 600. We have over 600 episodes. But let's say 600 episodes. In this time, I rarely have replays. I don't like replays, but sometimes you have to throw them in there, right? So I can truly say there are 600 episodes out here. I tell you to go back and play them. Go back and listen to them. See how time has changed. How actually I've changed in some of my thoughts. I think as we get older, we transform. We get better. Hopefully we get better over time. But we start to see things in a different light. And over the last couple of years, I've seen things in a different light. And one thing I will say over the last couple of years, and for many of us, in this 40s and 50s and some of us 60s, right? I actually get a chance to look at the demographics sometime. But in this age, we start seeing more and more people leave us. And so you may see the shows talk about living life. You may see the show talk about how can we prepare things for our family members, right? How can we be more abundant in living? How can we make amends to relationships that have gone astray? This show right here is really my therapy. And I've said this a bunch of times. It's really my therapy because I think through a lot of things. We think through a lot of things on how can we get through, how can we make it through all these things? How can we deal with the job? How can we deal with the kids? How can we deal with the relationships, the spouse, the friends, the cousins, all the things we have to deal with, right? The strangers on the street who just drive you crazy, right? How can you deal with all these things? And I think the one thing that I always come back to is being grounded with God. Being grounded with God. I mean, because when you stop for a minute and you think about it, you be like, man, I don't know how I just want to hurt, or I'm hurt. Right? Sometimes you want to hurt somebody, sometimes you feel hurt, right? But how do you deal with both of those emotions, right? How do you get through the days? How do you get through the nights? That's what this show is about. I want to point out one show. So we started in late September, right? Financial Freedom Friday, the pilot show, first ever Financial Freedom Friday pilot was done October 7th, 2022. So when I say I am not new to this, I am true to this. And like I said, me and Moody got over 1,000 episodes out there somewhere you can find if you look hard enough, right? Whole different cousin Ed. If you go, yeah. It's like you might not know that person, but totally different show. But so I'm not new to this. I'm really dedicated to this, and I love doing it because, like I said, it's my therapy, my way to get things out, and hopefully, it's helping others. It's not comedy, right? Sometimes you may hear some satire, and you may hear some jokes in there somewhere, but it's not. It's only to help. If I can do anything in this world, it would be to help others in some kind of way, right? And I really just want this show to be a staple, to say that I learned something by listening to Cousin Ed Corner. I felt something by listening to Cousin Ed's Corner. I'm better by listening to Cousin Ed's Corner. I know who he is, and I can see myself in him, or I can see what he's going through. I'm not the only one going through it. Oh man, he had so and so on, and she talked about, oh man, he had. I wanted to be relatable, right? And truly organic, but authentic and organic. So, on this Motivational Monday, I wanted to celebrate 600 episodes of Cousin Ed's Corner. Please go back and listen to some of these episodes. These episodes are monumental to me, but to others too. Go back and listen to them. Yeah, hit me up. Let me know what you think of some of these old episodes. They're classics, right? You can go back and watch all the classics on Turner Classic Broadcasting. Go back and listen to Cousin Ed's Corner on Cousin Ed's Corner, right? There you go. It's your boy Cousin Ed. I'm out of here. I love each and every one of you. Have a great week. I see you on Wednesday. God willing, everything, promise to all of us. I see you on Wednesday. I might have a special guest on Wednesday. Y'all check it out. I may have a special guest on Wednesday. And if you haven't already, like I mentioned before I go, if you haven't already, subscribe to Cousin Ed's Corner on Substack, right? And if you haven't listened on Substack, be sure to follow us on Instagram. I don't do much on TikTok anymore. Ever since the merger, the purchase or whatever, I don't do much on there. I'm still on there, but I don't post on there. So that's it. For people who wonder why I don't see new things from you on TikTok. Ever since the merger and some of the legality of what they've been saying and how they're taking our content, I choose not to post on there as much. So, but I'm still there. You can still DM me on there as well. And just on any other platform. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube. And I'm asking you to tell 5 friends. I'm asking you to tell 5 friends. There's no reason after 4 years. I'll go into that another time. I saw somebody posting about that today. Like, y'all watch, y'all listen. Y'all ain't sharing. Y'all ain't hitting the like button. I can see the numbers, but y'all ain't hitting the like button. And it's not hard. So, whole different topic. It's your boy Cousin. I love y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for letting me let this get off my chest as well. I will talk to y'all on Wednesday. Have a great one. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Cousin.